Hi, and welcome to Business Automation 101. I'm Tanya Shipman, and I just want to discuss this infographic that I started reading after a share from Barb Ling. So thank you to Barb for sharing that into one of her groups. And I'm just going to go through it with you because a lot of what's on here is fairly easy to automate and doesn't take a lot of time. But it's just actually taking those first steps. And we talk about automation a lot in the group. Obviously, it's Business Automation 101, but you often think, how am I going to get started? So the link is down below. You're able to see where I got this from, but I'm just going to go through it with you and just give you an idea of what you can use to automate what it's recommending that you automate. So, it's telling us how to automate every part of your life and save time. And it's talking about that, just looking at the numbers. And I've talked many times over the many years I've had Business Automation 101 going, that saving time is one of the biggest things that you can do. And knowing that something as simple as doing these automations, it allows an automation to handle up to 40% of repetitive tasks. And when it talks about workplace tasks, it's also looking at other life tasks, but being aware of this can make a huge difference. Automation raises productivity, and here it is by 1.4% annually. Now, that's globally. You'll find that your productivity will increase once you start automating, and you can avoid wasting nearly 22 hours per week. Now, 22 hours is, if you have let's make it a 7-hour workday as an example, that's 3 days a week that are being saved because you're able to automate redundant tasks. So some of the things that they talk about distraction. So to be able to block websites that are going to cause you issues, there's plenty out there. Depending on what browser you use, go and look for website blockers, look for blocking websites. Just go in Chrome extensions, look in Firefox for what they've got there. And if you use Safari, look for what they might have, because they're out there. They're being made all the time, because as everybody here would obviously know, there are times when you go to do some research and 3 or 4 hours later, you can't even remember what you started researching. So getting blockers set up. I have one that keeps me from certain websites before and after a certain time, and if I even click on the link, it blocks me. I have the option of unblocking if it's something that I want to use for work, but I found it really increased my productivity. Maintenance with computers, we all have to do updates and other things like that. Leave your computer on and set it to run at 2 o'clock at night, 2 a.m. in the morning. Make it happen when you're not around. Now, another big thing is rest. And Barb actually shared, and Ben Atkins wrote a really good post about what sleep habits and everything else like that can help you. Doesn't matter when you need to sleep. People are saying that you've got to have a specific time, but set what works for you. If you're a night owl, then just make sure that you're not disturbed in the morning. If you're somebody who has to go to bed at 9:30, well, go to bed at 9:30 and make sure that you're in bed by that time. Set up reminders to say it's time to go to bed. Set up reminders that you want to have a rest in the middle of the day. There's nothing wrong with whatever your sleep habit is, but just set it for something that will work for you. And meetings. And when I'm talking about meetings, it's also Skype calls. It's for those of us who work online. It's watching webinars. It's live, watching Facebook Lives. Even though I do a daily Facebook Live, I keep them short. But people who are watching this in replay, use the automations out there that allow you to watch a video at 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed. Do the same with all your webinars. If you have webinars you have to watch the replay. Unless it's absolutely essential that you be on there live, use the time of that live or that webinar to go and do some actual work, then watch it at double time and a half speed. I am to the stage now that if I have to watch a video at the normal pace, I'm frustrated. So it's very, very rare for me to watch a Facebook Live. And as I said, I know that I'm saying this when I do a daily Facebook Live, but It's about what works for you. And I know that if you choose to watch this as a replay at time and a half, I'm totally supporting you doing that. So free time and having some more fun with free time. As I said, I love all the suggestions that are in here. So do all your shopping. I've talked in a couple of videos over the last 2 years where I've just said, get as much of your shopping online as you can and as much of it automated as possible. For those of you who live in the US, you have that option that Amazon Prime can be set up that it knows that every 6 weeks you need whatever it might be. I use an online shopping service here. I have all my regulars saved in a list and I add them to my shopping cart, and then I just add in what else it's needed. I don't even have to remember that these are the 10 or 15 essentials that I buy every shopping list. I just add them in, and then if I don't want one because the previous week or fortnight they were on special and I bought 2 or 3 of them, well, you just delete them out. But it's much quicker to delete something out you don't need than to add something in. Travel deals and all these sorts of things. If you're somebody who travels a lot, use these use feeds and deals coming through to you. You can get emails, you can get alerts, and look for these travel fare aggregators that just let you know this is the best deal for these flights. You can set them for when you're traveling, you can set them for the future. You can even set them to get an alert that, wow, I'd really like to go someplace. I don't have the time right now, but if a really good deal came through, well, I'm happy to travel. Look for that. Well, cleaning. I have a cleaner. That's how I save time with cleaning. But there's all sorts of programs and smart home devices and, as it says, robot vacuums, even recurring timers for simple tasks. My son puts out the garbage bin. In Australia, we have one week it's recycles, the following week it's normal garbage. He has them set up as a timer to remind him to put it out. And because he sometimes forgets, I have a timer also that lets me know that, and a reminder that says, make sure that this bin gets put out. Something as simple as that means that action happens. You're not trying to remember to do things. So look at doing that. Well, phones. IFTTT. You all know how much I love IFTTT. So seeing this mentioned on this infographic was really encouraging for me. But, set up your apps to do responses to other apps, and you know what you're spending your time on with your apps, and if you're copying things to put them to somewhere else, set up IFTTT to do it. Instagram can go to Facebook for you automatically. You don't have to think about it. You can have your Facebook image. If you upload your Facebook image, you can set it up so that it'll be uploaded on Twitter or shared on other social media sites. Look at what IFTTT can do it for you. And I've also talked about this one. As I said, reading this infographic, it was like, oh, these are so many things I talk about. So obviously I need to create some infographics, but set up bills to be paid automatically. Just choose the day you want it to be paid, set it all up, let it set and forget it. You don't have to think about it anymore. Set up a separate account where all your bills go from, and you're right to go. Then you've got these little ways of saving, knowing what's happening in your budget, finding saving opportunities and tracking cash. All of that can be done on your smartphones now. Use your mobile, get an app that captures your expenses. There's so many apps that'll take a copy of your receipt and transfer it into an actual shareable information into a budget program. Lots of them are out there, so don't let it overwhelm you. Look at some of the things that can help you. You Need a Budget is one that I really like, but there's heaps of them out there, and go looking for the one that works best for you. Now, this is a really important one, and this is this self-care thing. It talks about a do not disturb, but with part of the self-care, some of the things that people miss out on is drinking plenty of water. So, setting up a reminder of how much water have you drunk for the day, doing that do not disturb, and actually blocking out time for yourself. Put that into a calendar so that you know that this is my time to stop, go and have a break, walk, read a book, whatever will allow you some time for some self-care where you can feel that you're looking after yourself and you're not working absolutely flat out. These are really, really good tips. And then doing ways of finding the cheapest purchases, setting up all sorts of reminders or programs that will, if you're trying to buy something, it will start looking for the best deal for you. Use these cashbacks that are being set up, cashbacks, try and say that quickly, to find the lowest possible price on your online purchases. There's so many of them out there as well. Again, look for cashbacks on your Chrome browser, look for price comparers. Those are the sorts of things that you're looking for. All of these lead to you saving time. It goes back to what it said right at the very beginning, where you're able to handle, put onto automation 40% of your workplace tasks and your life tasks. You can increase your productivity, and that's what I talk about with automation all the time. And just stop wasting time. It's really, really important. And it's really easy to find that you're wasting your time doing this. You're not looking for the easy ways of doing things. My online shopping is so quick now that I'm using lists. It's only looking for a few specials or some specialty item that I want for a special a dish that I'm making, or a recipe that I'm making. All of this saves time. You're not having to think. A couple of extra things about how you can automate your life personally. Have a uniform as such. And by that, I don't mean you have to go out and buy anything fancy, but decide that you're going to just wear T-shirts and pants, tracksuit pants. That's fine. Just have them similar colors, have them for the week. You're not constantly trying to think of what you're going to wear. If you like to dress up, set it all up so that you've got what you're going to wear for the whole week or for the next couple of days, because then when you get up in the morning, you know what you're doing and you don't have to think about it. All sorts of little things that can, by automating your life or making it a habit, starts saving you time and money and allows you to be more productive. Let me know what you thought of this infographic. Are you following any of these 12 ideas? I'd love to hear in the comments. And as always, automate your life. I'm Tanya Shipman from Business Automation 101, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.